This presentation was previously presented at the Association for Medical Education in Europe 2015 conference. Good morning, the chairperson, professors, and students from around the world. We are third-year medical students from Chulalongkorn University, Thailand. Today, we are really honored to present our project, Student-Led Curriculum Evaluation, Hitting the Nail on the Head. From the beginning, students were required to participate in the program evaluation by filling out the questionnaires designed and conducted by the faculty. This situation did happen in our faculty as well, but in the past. According to World Federation for Medical Education standard, the Curriculum Committee needs to ensure the representation of staffs and students. As a result, the Curriculum Committee was restructured to include student representatives whose primary role is to represent students' voices. So, the representative's opinions is not equal to the whole class's opinions. To perform our duty at the greatest potential, each representative formed a small working group in his or her own class. All of these working groups were then trained in basic educational research methodology so that the data collecting process would be appropriate. Our project's procedures had 6 steps. First, the working group brainstormed without teachers' authority for the domain of the questionnaire. This resulted in 13 domains. Second, the 13 domain open-ended questionnaires were distributed to all 300 second-year students. Third, we gathered the results from the previous step, grouped them into 91 items, and presented to the project advisor, who is also the secretary of the Curriculum Committee. Items were later limited to 62 by eliminating the non-implementable issues. Fourth, the closed-ended questionnaires, composed of these 62 items, were distributed and explained to all second-year students. The 5th step is data analysis, presentation preparation, and report writing up. Finally, we presented the results to the Curriculum Committee and also our fellow students.
The response rate in the first round was 86% and in the second round was 89%. In this video clip of 62 items, we select only 5 items to discuss in this presentation. The first example is 46% of the respondents suggested that the fundamental tissue biology course, which is currently the first course in the second year, should be taught in the first year instead. The reason for this recommendation is because the curriculum in the second year is much more crowded than the first year. This issue is an example of student suggestions which teachers have concerned for quite a while. Once the teachers have the evidence that the students share the same concern, it results in the move of courses in the second year to the first year in the next curriculum development. 73% of the sample strongly recommended, while 21% supported that the study guides in gross anatomy and histology should include the complete list of essential structures and how to identify them. This item is similar to the previous item on the condition that what students suggested is what teachers have concerned. So, the Department of Anatomy can use this evidence to further support the current change that the department has been conducting. Here is the third example. 59% of the respondents agreed or strongly agreed that there should be learning experience outside the classroom in medical ethics course. In the last academic year, this class focused solely on lecture, large group presentation, or small group discussion. We firmly believe that learning experiences outside the classroom would be more inspiring and might better the achievement of the course. Fortunately, some teachers raised this issue in the latest curriculum seminar. They would like clinical students to have early clinical experiences so that they will be inspired to be good doctors and have interprofessional learning experience. It is possible that these ideas will be crystallized into a new course soon. So, these show an example of an educationally sound suggestion from students who is being put into action. Another similar example is the idea of having mind map handouts. 30% of the respondents preferred, and 51% of the respondents strongly preferred mind map handouts to the traditional handouts. Here is an example of what we are talking about. A mind map concluding the overview of lesson is put on the first page. In addition, small version of the mind map will also be put on each of the following pages to ensure that students can follow what teacher is lecturing. Due to our knowledge, there were only few teachers who have used mind map in their lectures in the past year. This number is increasing this academic year as a result of students' feedback. We hope that the number of teachers using mind map will be multiplying in later academic year. So far, we have presented 2 examples of issues which what students suggested is what teachers have concerned, and 2 examples of student educationally sound suggestions which is being put into action. However, not all of our suggestions can be put into action, and here is an example. 35% of students would like to know the test score in each course classified by disciplines. When we raised this issue into the curriculum committee, we expected feedback after the assessment. However, we were informed that the end of course assessment is intentionally summative, not formative, and each course committee has already organized formative assessment separately for students. This explanation helps us look at the same issue from another perspective, the teacher's perspective, which might not happen if students' representatives were not in the curriculum committee. After the meeting was over, I, as a student representative, summarized and informed my classmates of all the changes that would happen and what couldn't be changed and why. The information was not only presented to my classmates, but also passed to the second-year student representatives in the next academic year. In conclusion, what has happened are, first, student representatives were appointed as members of curriculum committees. Second, students conducted curriculum evaluation by themselves. Third, the results were presented to the curriculum committees. Fourth, students learned about the future development, which was resolved from their feedbacks, and also the issue that will remain unchanged along with the reasons. And the last one, student representative communicated what happened in the curriculum committee to the classmates. From our experiences, we would recommend open-minded two-way communication between students and teachers based on trustworthy evidence from student-led evaluation. These would lead to educational changes and development that definitely hit the nail on the head. Thank you for your kind attention.